right?
Already gave the biodata already just now before Bhante come
You
up.
introduced the topic?
Already.
Okay. Okay, please take a seat. A very good morning to all of you, dear monastic members, devotees who have gathered here on this special day. Before we get started our Dharma sharing, shall we pay respect to the Buddha? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, I can see today's crowd is a mixture of different ages, children and young adults, seniors. I hope it may be the reason of today's event, and probably it may be the reason of the topic, ghost. So everybody is very excited about what the early Buddhist teachings talk about, how we have to deal with the ghost. Our topic today is how to deal with ghost, a Buddhist perspective. Now when I say a Buddhist perspective, it's more about early Buddhism, not Theravada, not Mahayana. It's early Buddhism. We normally call it early Buddhism because these teachings come from a time where the schools were not started. So then we can learn what the Buddha said originally. Now, the important aspect of this topic goes to the side of how to deal with ghosts and what we can do for them. Not just get excited about a ghost who is going to harass us, who is going to disturb us. I think this is what many people think, that when it comes to this topic, oh, they are very ferocious, they are going to disturb us, they are going to do things to us, kind of a very unpleasant kind of mentality, thoughts about them. But in early suttas, the Buddha says that no, we don't have to worry about them. There are certain clear things that we have to do to deal with different types of petas. We call them as peta. Can somebody arrange the whiteboard for me, please? So in Pali, in early Buddhism, we call peta for the individuals who you recognize as ghosts. But actually, this Pali word, peta, this is a common Pali word for anybody who is passing away, departed one. That means we are still having a long way to become soon. Maybe not a long way. We don't know how long we will be living, but anyways, we are going to die. We are supposed to die. And the death, we call it marana, is not beyond our life. It is a part of our life. A lot of people think death is a phenomenon that happens to us beyond our life. No. The moment we are born, we are carrying the death, and it is a part of this life. So we have to happily embrace it. Not that death is coming, I had a lot of good karma, I don't know what's going to happen to me. That kind of stress, which might become a depression at a certain point, will ruin your Dhamma path as well. So death is a part of our life. It is a part of our life. But the way how we gonna die and how long we will live and die, they are part of our activities, karmas, lifestyle. There are many things involved with that part. Anyways, when we die, the people who are around us, they don't know what will happen to us after the death. So they all call us in this common name called Peta. Okay, Peta or Peta, plural, departed ones, but it was Peta. But the ghosts that we are talking are not these ones. They are a different category. So although we are generally called as a Peta, then there are other categories of Petas, in which you will find out one category is a hungry ghost. It's only one category. Now there are 4 types of Petas. This is a generic term for all the departed one. We all are being called as Peta because nobody in our family, in our circles understands that what happened to us, what will happen to us. But of course, we may have been reborn as a human. Again, we don't know. But because they don't know, they call us Peta. But there are 4 subcategories where we understand different Petas. The first one is we call as Nijjama Tanhika. This is one Peta category, Nijjama Tanhika. The second category is called Kuppipasa. The third category is called Pansupisaja. And the fourth category is called Paradattupajivi. Now, ghost. This category is specifically called for Kuppipasa. Ku means hunger. Pipasa means thirst. So, unfortunately, the people don't call thirsty ghost. There are thirsty ghosts, not even hungry ghost. If you look at the book called Petavattu, this is a book about the ghost. Petavattu, a very famous book. If you Google, look it up, you can find out. There are certain Petas who are not hungry ghosts, who are thirsty ghosts. So we have to deal with them differently. So we call them hungry and thirsty ghosts. This could be the category that we are dealing for the most part. These are different categories. Now it is said that they are not very challenging ones to others, but this category is very important. Why? In order for us to help Kuppipasas, hungry, thirsty ghosts, what we can do is something that is very important. I think that is where we have to underscore, that means emphasize what we can do. Not that they are like this, they are like this. Their characteristics are like this. What we can do? What we can do is to bring these Kuppipasas to, if possible, to Paradattupajivi. Paradattupajivi means a transit place for Petas. When you are giving good karmas, I think after this Dhamma talk, there will be a ceremony. Yeah? And you know, at the end of Dana ceremony, you are pouring water, transference of merit. So when you are doing those good activities, if these Kuppipasa Petas have been reborn in the Paradattupajivi status of the Petas, then they can take the merits, they can be reborn in a better place, happy place. So we want to bring these Kuppipasas, if possible. It doesn't always depend on how much good karmas we do. They also have to be strong enough in their good karmas, so they can be reborn in the Paradattupajivi realm, and they can get rid of the Peta world and be reborn as a Deva or a Manusa. Okay, Kuppipasas. You may call them as hungry ghosts, but there are different types of ghosts. That's what we are learning today. How to deal with different kind of ghosts. Let me share with you some of the stories depending on the time. All right. Okay. First story is about a monk, Arahant Pottapad. What is his name? Pottapad. He is an Arahant. He was an Arahant, enlightened monk. One day, one night, there was a thirsty ghost, in your interpretation, hungry ghost, appeared in front of him and then said to him, Bhante, I am your brother who passed away few days ago, and I became a thirsty ghost, Kuppipasa, we call it hungry ghost. Not only me, my father and mother, that means your mother and father, your parents too, they also passed away some time ago. They were also reborn as Petas, thirsty ghosts. So I am a Peta, I am a thirsty ghost, so are your mother, father. So can you please do something for us? It's good if your Petas come to you and then tell what they want to do, otherwise you don't know. But anyways, this Arahant was approached by his brother for the tragedy, for the miserable status that they are going through. Then Arahant Pottapad asked, what can I do for you? Then he said, we are naked, we want clothings. Okay, he said. Then the next day, he asked some of the devotees and then got them prepared some robes and then offered to other Sangha members. And the next day night, the brother Peta, the ghost, showed up and then said, Bhante, now we are happy, we have clothes now. Yeah. That means Peta's first need is clothings. Because of the bad karmas they have done, they are reborn as naked, being naked. And then the next day he showed up and he said, thank you for the clothings, but now there is another problem. The problem is we want to drink water, but we cannot drink water. Then the Arahant Pottapada stretched his arm and said, look, the river is nearby. Why don't you go there and drink water? Then he said, when we go there, I and your parents, the water in the river become bloody because of the bad karmas they have done in a past life. For other people, it is still water. But when they go and try to take some water, that water become bloody, that means become blood. Then the next day, Arahant Pottapada talked to his devotees and then offered some, the filters, water filters, and some water as well to some other Sangha members. And then the following day he appeared, he said, now we can drink water. We are very happy. Thank you for that. And after a couple of days, he again showed up, said, now we have clothing, we have water, but we don't have a place to stay. That means Petas need housing, They need housing like humans. Not only they don't want to be homeless. Because there is a certain kind of Peta called Vimana Peta, another higher level of Peta. Vimana Petas, you see in the Peta Vattu. Vimana Petas mean there are certain very comfortable Petas who have mansions, very big houses. The funny thing is that when they travel, they carry their mansion, mobile homes, wherever they go. Vimana is a mansion. Luckier than you, because you can't, even though you have a very expensive house, you can't bring it wherever you go. Only you watch through the CCTV cameras what's happening, right? But petas, there's a good peta, so they can carry. Some petas are homeless now, including this particular peta, Arahan Pottapada's father, mother, and brother. He said, can you do something for us, if possible? Then the next day, he talked to some other devotees and then said, can we make a kuti for some other monks? Kuti, some kuti for housing for some monks. And then they did that. And the peta disappeared for some time, because now peta has got a house, mother, father, brother. Then after some time, he again showed up and said, thank you for the housing. But now we have another problem. When we are walking, there are pebbles, they are very pricky, and we feel a little painful when we are walking. Like when you are walking on pebbles and you feel like pricky stuff. So can you do something for us? So the next day, Arahan Pottapada talked to his devotees and said, can we offer some footwear, some sandals, some footwear to some other Sangha members? And then the petas vanished, disappeared, didn't turn up again. Right? So that means this story, Arahan Pottapada's story, which is mentioned in the Petavattu, is a clear indication how petas need their, what you call, needs. They have needs that need to be met by people that they don't know. They cannot approach the people that they don't know. Right? It's like that when you want to borrow some money, you can't approach, let's say if you can't pay back a lot of money, so you approach a family member. Right? So, can you lend some money? I want to borrow some money, I'll pay you back. You can't do it with a stranger. Strangers won't give you money, they don't know you. They don't know whether you have an ability to pay back. Right? So in the same way, they approach. This is one story, Arahan Pottapada's story. Second story is Kim Bimbisara. Who is Kim Bimbisara? The person who offered the first Buddhist temple to the Buddha. We call it Veluvanarama. Bamboo grove. On the day night he offered the Veluvanarama, he had a very bad dream. Now you think that when you offer dana, you shouldn't be seeing anything wrong. But he saw a very bad dream. He saw a couple of people saying something, but he could not understand what they are saying. They said 4 letters, do, sa, na, so. And then they disappeared. They don't know what these letters mean. Do, sa, na, so. And on the following morning, Kim Bimbisara, now supposed to be a happy person at that point, you could offer the temple on the previous day, and he approached the Buddha. He said, Bhante, I saw a very bad dream, and I heard these 4 letters. I don't know what they mean. Actually, these 4 letters are 4 stanzas. 4 stanzas about their suffering, the Peta's suffering. Who are they? They are his friends, some relatives, many thousand lives ago. They were waiting until he is doing a good karma, and they saw he is doing the best good karma for a Buddha, but he did not share the good karmas, transfer the good karmas to them. They were not happy. Now they can't go anywhere. They only know this person, and he did the best thing for the Buddha. So they approached. But because of their bad karmas, they could not utter the whole stanza. Then the king asked, what can I do for them? Then the Buddha asked, how did you see them? Then he explained about the way how he saw them. Then he explained that they were naked. Okay, then you offer some clothes. And then the next day onwards, he did not see them. Right? So this is the second story. So there are many stories like this that we need to understand about how to deal with different, in your own interpretation, ghosts. Now in your culture you may have a different understanding, right? You burn things. What are things you burn normally? Not you. Some people even burn airplanes. Airplanes, durians, some other. That's their tradition. We are not going to say anything about it. But if you are concerned about what the Buddha said about this, how to handle ghosts, hungry ghosts, thirsty ghosts, you need to know how to bring them onto Paradattupajjeevi place, a transit place, where you can help them. Now the Buddha said that we can help them in two ways. Number one is we need to be compassionate, very kind to these ghosts. That's number one. Because they are not supported by anybody. Number two is we have to do what is supposed to be done for them. What should we do for them? What do you think? What can you do for the ghost in the Buddhist way? We are supposed to give them good karmas. Now normally in your cultures what you know is that you are offering them what they like since the day that they passed away. That's your own culture. But the Buddhist way, the Buddha says, it's not that you can help them by giving them food which they like. The Buddhist way. You have to give food to the Sangha members. Because we cannot deal with the non-humans directly. They are not humans anymore. So what we can do is give the food to somebody who is worthier than you, who has more sila, who has more discipline. Ideally speaking, a Sangha member. And then you are creating lots of merits. And these merits can be channeled to these petas, hungry ghosts. That is the Buddhist way. Now, in order to talk about this idea, I want to share with you a sutta called about the petas, Tiro Kuddha Sutta. This means Kuddaka Pata, number 7. In this sutta, Buddha says, our departed relatives, suppose they happen to become hungry ghosts or thirsty ghosts, they may come to our houses. Now don't worry about it. I will make you relax in the interpretation. It is said that they may come to a couple of places, junctions on the road, crossroad, intersections, doorstep, outside the walls, and windows. Can Peta come inside your house? No. That is a trespassing. So they are trying to become, they are trying to be stationed in these places, and at times they may. Normally they are approaching you when you are doing a good karma. Otherwise they know you cannot help them, right? It's like when you are very rich, when you have money, other relatives are always approaching you. If you don't have money, then nobody is coming to you and say hi to you. So these petas, they may come to your place if they know you have something good karma you are doing, you will be doing. Unfortunately, a lot of people, when they do good karmas, they forget about the departed ones. Why? It is because of the greed. What kind of greed? Greed for doing good karmas for one's life. Now when you do a good karma, we only think about, most of Only my life. May I be a good person, may I have this, that, may I be a deva in my next life. This kind of, we are bringing certain kind of self-attitude, a sakkaya ditthi. That is not a good thing. That's why at the end of any good karma, we are supposed to transfer the good karmas. We are not becoming very selfish with whatever we do in the good way also. Right? So, Petas know that the only point of help that they can have is approaching their relatives, friends when they are doing a good karma. But most of people may forget them. No, of course not you, normal people. Sometimes you may also do the same thing if you are not very mindful about it. So, the Petas are happy if the relative, if the family member remembers them. They are very happy. Now you are thinking, okay, they are very helpless and we only have to give them the blessings. How do we do the blessings for them? The good karmas to them? Idang me ñāti nang hotu sukita hontu ñāti. May this good karma be transferred to my departed ones. But you may not know one other thing on the other side. The Petas think that they owe things to the living people. Chirang jivantu no ñāti ye sanghetu labamasi. Because our living relatives are giving good karmas, may they live long. The departed ones, the hungry, thirsty ghosts, wish you longevity. That must be a very interesting wish. We normally think that we are wished by living people, but hungry ghosts, thirsty ghosts wish us back. Chirang jivantu nonya. Chirang means longevity. That means we are getting the influence, wish, inspiration, happiness from the departed ones, especially the hungry and thirsty ghosts. Not even that, in that sutta, you can read this sutta, Petas say, we have no job, we are jobless, we can't do rice cultivation, we cannot do commerce, we cannot do jobs, they are jobless, right? So only if our relatives, friends can give us something in the form of good karma, we can move to the next level as a good person. And then they say the best thing, also they are saying that we don't want your tears, we don't want your lamentation, we don't want your crying, that won't help us. I know that when somebody passes away, we are naturally become sad about it. Yes, it has to release. But in the real terms, those tears don't help them because they need good karmas. Now in some countries, now in Sri Lanka, when someone passes away, they do a dana, 7 days. The person passed away last Sunday. Now they are doing the dana on the 7th day. So it seems to us that they are keeping the Peta waiting for a week, not helping the Peta to go to a better place. That means when someone passed away, immediately we need to do a good karma. Maybe not in a temple, in your own way. Is it nice to keep a Peta waiting for a week? That's so nice, and it's like keeping an animal inside the house and lock it. The animal become very violent within a week. Right? So they are traditions, and we don't need to disrespect. They are traditions. 7 a week, 3 months, 1 year. There are benefits too. Anniversary is coming, 2nd anniversary is coming, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So you are doing something. But in real life, Petas need good karmas all the time when you do a good karma. So they say tears, lamentation, crying, they are not going to be helpful for us. We only need good karmas. Those good karmas also should come by giving a dana to the Sangha members or maybe other worthy people. That means Someone is going and then giving food to if this is the departed one, giving food to the departed one, that may be a tradition, but in Buddhism, the Peta cannot get those food. You have to give the food to a worthy person, create good karmas, and wish, may these good karmas be taken up by the hungry, thirsty ghost. That is the Buddhist way. And at the end of this sutta, it is said that a nice, interesting stanza. Adasi me, akasi me, nyati mitta, sakacha me, nyati nang dakkinan dajja, pubbe katanusara. So the dana activity that is given to the Peta is not a normal dana. We call it dakkina. Dakkina. You have to give the dakkina. Now you may call it a dana, normal dana, but it is called dakkina in Pali. This dakkina has to be given to worthy people, ideally speaking, Sangha members and worthy people. So then they are able to receive. Now another interesting thing I wanted to share before we go for a Q&A is, all the hungry ghosts, thirsty ghosts are able to take up our good karmas, receive our good karmas, just because we are doing it. What do you think? The Buddhas, actually there was a story. Sutta is Vachchagotta Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya. One Brahmin called Vachchagotta approached the Buddha and then said, Bhante, we are doing a lot of good karmas to our departed ones. Are they really able to receive all these good karmas? Have you ever thought that whenever you do good karmas, whatever the good karmas for your departed ones, have you ever thought that these good karmas are reaching out to our people? Probably this could be an area that you may have no idea. But this Brahmin asked the Buddha about this question. And then the Buddha said, nobody has asked this question from me. They are coming and giving dana and then they are going away. Very interesting. And the Buddha said, depends on the place. There are 3 places where your good karmas cannot be received by, good karmas don't go to the Petas, hungry ghosts. I would call them as 3 places. If your relative was reborn as a human, again, let's say someone who passed away in the name of you was reborn as a human. If he or she became a human, this person cannot receive good karmas at the moment. Why? Someone will become a human with lot of good karmas. At the moment, this person doesn't need your good karmas. If your departed one became a deva, devas have lots of happiness, lots of comforts. If your relative became a deva, then during the time that the person became a deva, as a deva, he or she cannot take your good karmas. They are good places actually. But if your relative became an animal, that is a sad place. Until you die, until that person is going to die as an animal, that person cannot take your good karmas. Now the Vachchagotta was not happy. So then what is going to happen to our good karmas we are doing? We are doing dana, we are doing other things. The Buddha said, don't worry. There is one place, there's only one place that your good karmas or other people's good karmas are reaching out at the same time you are doing the dana activity. Now you are expecting, may good karmas be accrued to them at the time. That is this place, Paradattupajivi. This is a transit place. When I call it a transit place, you know, you are not going to spend like 2-3 days in an airport on transit, right? You have to go somewhere, right? You just stay there probably a couple hours. So, if your relative that you are giving good karmas was reborn as a Paradattupajivi Peta, then only that particular Peta can receive good karmas and then be headed to a better place. Then Vachagatta was even sad. Then what will happen to our good karmas we are doing? The Buddha said, don't worry. They are deposited in a place until the person is eligible to get your good karmas. That means it doesn't even matter, it is not even enough that you do good karmas for them. They should also be eligible, they should also be able to come back and take these good karmas at a certain point. It's like you are sending some money on Western Union, but the delivery is pick up. That person has to come and pick up the money. When you want to pick up the money, you have to show your piece of identification, you have to prove that's me, and probably tell the purpose of this money transfer, right? So they want to verify the information. So just because now, if the transfer is good karmas, Petas also have to be eligible to, they also should be meritorious enough, strong enough to come and receive the good karma. So then, the Buddha said to Vachagatta, don't worry, once they are eligible, they will be able to take your good karma. So they are not going to be meaningless, they are very meaningful. Do your part. When they are eligible, when they are meritorious enough in their own way, they are able to get the good karma. So then that means transference of good karmas is the best way to deal with the different ghosts, whatever the ghost, Petas. But in terms of the delivery of the good karmas, they also have a part to play. They also have to be able to come and then take the good karmas. But because we don't know what's happening behind the scene, it is better to do only our part. Do more good karmas, transfer the good karmas as much as you can, and everything else will be taken care in the process. So we talk about different Petas. The best thing to do for the Petas is doing the Dakkhina. That is the way how we can do that. All right, any questions about this topic? Maybe there are questions. So I think there is a mic. Okay, and there is another mic here. So I hope that, yes. So, yes. All right.
One second. Need to take the mic.
Both mics, yeah.
Yep.
Melanie, can you help the camera?
Just go ahead.
Bhante, may I ask, like someone sometimes when they meet someone who has just passed away, or like the colleagues somebody has just attended funeral.
Can you take the mic closer?
Sorry. And then you feel sick or like no energy and feel restless. So how to overcome this and why?
The first part was not heard to me. There is someone.
Like say, I say, for example, I meet somebody who has just come back from attending funeral or come back from hospital, and after encounters or after I met that person, I feel sick and I feel restless and I have no energy. I feel like lying down. Sometimes even I want to faint. Why and how to overcome this problem?
Okay, I think you are asking something about energy. So when we don't have enough energy, we are influenced by the people who have bad energy. This happens to people when they are going to certain places like cemeteries and those places. So that's why we always have to be confident and strong in our Dharma practice. We normally call it as Vayama. Vayama. Let me write that for you, then you will understand what it is. The Buddha said that we have to balance our energy all the time. Our energy in 4 ways. Preventing akusala, removing active akusala. This one is inactive. Then creating inactive kusala and deepening active kusala. For the balancing good energy. So the reason why people are affected by other low energy and bad energy people is that they don't have a good management about these 4 aspects of the balance, the energy. Now the first thing that you have to practice, you have to have is that you have to always prevent inactive akusalas. Let's say you are not that kind of jealous person. You are not that jealous. So you are good. You should not be influenced by other jealous people to become jealous. Just keep your practice. First one is done. Jealousy, anger, all the bad things. Second is, sadly, you have some bad things. Let's say you have a lot of lobha, a lot of dosa, a lot of jealousy, a lot of anger, frustration, disappointment. Then you need to remove by using your energy all the time. Third is that you meet a new friend in your life. You feel that your new friend is very patient. You never met somebody like that. And you are learning from that new person. I want to be this patient. So you want to be influenced. So you create new kusala activities, kusala states. Why not? It's a good thing. Why don't I try it out? Why don't I become influenced? Because oftentimes we are influenced by many bad people. When you meet a gossiper, you become a gossiper too, right? Over time. When you talk to gossipers for a month, you become a very big gossiper. You never know. When you talk to liars, you become liars too. When you talk to angry people, you become angry too. When you are getting in touch with jealous people, you become jealous too. The association, company matters a lot. That's why the Buddha said, the first blessing we have to create in our life is asevanacha balana. Not being in the company with the unwise people. The second blessing is then we have to bring kalyana mittas, wise people into our life, because we understand company matters, intimacy matters, right? So we are going to create kusala activities that we don't have states of mind anew. Then the fourth one is you understand you already have certain good activities, good kusala states. You are a more patient person. Looking at a few years back, you are such a very blessed person, and you can tolerate. You are not getting that angry. You are not getting that frustrated. You are not complaining that much. Few years back, wherever you go, you complain a lot. Food, people, everything, right? You become a good person. You have become a good person over time. So why don't you deepen, sustain, improve those good qualities? You need energy for that. So the answer to your question is that if you have not worked out under these 4, bad energy people can give you bad energy very fast because you have no energy. So you have to create energy by practicing these 4. We call it samma vayama. One of the noble path factor, right effort. So don't think that it happens from a ghost. Even the evil forces can approach us that way if we are not strong enough. I think we can take up another one question and we will go to the sharing because of the event. All right, any more questions about today? You have a question? Okay, please to mic here.
My name is Xiao. Okay, actually I have some doubts over.
Sorry, one second.
Okay, it's not all of it.
Oh yeah, it's not already.
Okay, one. My name is Xiao. I think back in my mind, I've been asking questions about. With Chinese culture is go to cemetery and pray every year. And we have generations ahead of us. My great-grandfather, my grandfather, my father, this. And along the way, I think there will be many generations to come. So, with this tradition, is it correct or not correct? How long should we go there and pray? There are so many of them. Okay? That's one question. Number two is, how do we know they have to be born? Okay? Whether they have to be born or not, whether we pray this for empty space or what. Okay, these are two main questions. Thank you.
I think we don't have to know whether they are reborn or not, because we only need to do our part. If we do our part, that's it, because then we have to go to their levels. Just do your part, do the transference of merits, then everything else will be okay. Otherwise there is no need for us to know where they are reborn. If we are going to that kind of level, then lot of unnecessary things also will happen to us. Don't worry about their place, just do your part, because they are concerned about whether you do your part for them. Okay? Alright, so then I think because of the timing, we can share the good karmas. Yes?
Whose cars opposite there? The white one, second one, you did not switch off the light after your battery.
Yeah.
Go and check.
All right. So, because of the next ceremony, the puja part, we are going to transfer the good karmas. May all the good karmas we've been making today by learning about petas, we call them hungry, thirsty ghosts, and how to handle them with dakkhina, dana activity, and how to practice dana, how to transfer good karmas, and may all these good karmas be transferred to all the departed ones who passed away in the name of all of us. May they be well and happy, may they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñātayo. At the same time, may Deva Naga Mahidika be well and happy. May they receive your good karmas. May they protect and bless all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety. May the Kuching Dharma Vijaya Buddhist Vihara and the resident monks and nuns, Dayakas, everybody be protected, blessed by Deva Naga Mahidika. At the same time, may Deva Naga Mahidika bless your Dhamma journey. Finally, may they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sangpadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sangpatti siddhya Akasattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahidnika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhang tuluka sasanang chirang rakhang tudesanang chirang rakhang tumang paranti chirang rakhang tutwang sadati. At the end of all our good karmas, we are making a wish, a great wish in this directionless sansaric journey. May we be able to be in the company of Kalyana Mittas, noble friends. May we be always surrounded by Kalyana Mittas. May we continue to be accompanied, surrounded by Kalyana Mittas. Thinking thus, we're going to make a wish. Imina punya kammena Mame bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Finally, may all the good karmas we've been making, I know that there were others who attended last night too, may all these good karmas you are making today, even after this Dhamma talk, I think you are having a puja, may all the good karmas be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana siddhissa niccang vaddha pacaino chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarugya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha atu nibbana sampatti iminati saminchatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Right, that's the end of the Dhamma talk. Yes, thank you. Have a good day.